Hello and welcome back to the London project. My name's Nebman, I'm the founder of Nebman Transport, and in this series we are developing London and connecting it back up to Great Britain. In the last episode you might recall we set up a £350 million train line. We've renovated Great Britain with a new high-speed railway track which connects London to Manchester and Liverpool to Reading, Manchester to Birmingham. We spent a lot of money designing something that would just look a little bit cooler and it's more efficient. This is the local line which runs from Liverpool to Reading, which essentially travels all the way from over there in Reading and will go all the way up to Liverpool. I really like this line, I think it looks really nice, so we're really proud of this as we go through this tunnel. We'll zoom out to see where we're going on the progress. We can see another train coming in. It could be a fast one actually. Looks like it's going pretty fast. But yes, we're really happy with that line and I really like it actually when we get to Liverpool, the bridges and stuff. So yeah, all is looking good. And then here is another train. Yeah, looks awesome. I'll fast forward a little bit to show you our arrival into Liverpool because it's awesome. I love it. So you'll see from this section we separate, that's the Manchester track that goes straight on over there. And you can see from here, this is what we're going to be working on soon. But you can see there's a beautiful looking bridge over there. But as we cross over into Liverpool, we go over this wonderful looking curved bridge that goes over the main connection between Manchester and Liverpool. And then we slowly but surely break through the trees and arrive into Liverpool train station, which is this lovely dome that we've got here. Liverpool has developed quite a lot as well. It looks very nice and bigger is what it looks like, so it has developed a very nice amount. And here we are, this is Liverpool train station, so all is well. Quite a nice large train station actually. We really like it, and obviously we've got this port that we need to set up. And then right on time our high-speed train has arrived from London as well, which is pretty cool. But let's have a look to see how we've progressed on the money front. So you might recall that we were very much fighting with a bankruptcy after developing this line because these trains weren't making much money, we were really struggling and we were very, very low on money. As you can see, we've now got 550 or 565 million. So we have earned that back. I have let the game run for a little while just so the lines can establish themselves and the cities can build up so that we make a bit of money back, because I think at one point we did go into the minus digits, so I just had to allow it to run. Should we name this bridge? Can we name the bridge? I want to name the bridge. Let's name the bridge. Liverpool Bridge. Liverpool Bridge. So just to show that this is legit, it's not me just adding money because we are in sandbox mode, you can add money. We'll show you the finances. So as you can see, our railroad is absolutely killing it. So we're making a tremendous amount of money. We're losing loads on the roads, which is fine because we can counteract that. This is partially because I've turned down the vehicle maintenance to good instead of very high, which we had before. So I'm probably going to turn them back up and we're going to lose quite a lot of the profit. But yeah, as you can see, the railway lines are making us tons of money. If we actually have a look at, let's see who is the best earners, because there's a few like this one to Birmingham and then the Liverpool to Reading line. They're not making basically any money, but I want to keep them because they look cool. But the Grimsby commuters making us 8 million, Plymouth line 8 million, Manchester to London is making a killing. That was at 6 million, but it's just reset. South Coast line, Cambridge line, we're all making. Liverpool to London, absolutely tons of cash. So yeah, we're getting a lot of money in from these lines, which is really helpful. So we are helping progress of the business. We are obviously losing out a lot of money on these, but hey, no dramas. So what I might do is just go into the vehicle menu and I'm going to probably put all of the vehicle maintenance back up slightly. Oh, we've got it on high already. Was it very high? Let's put it up by 25% and see if we still see if we can still keep the cash flow going in, and then we'll start working on what we actually want to work on. Now, in real life, although this is entirely fictional, this is just my fun fictional Great Britain. Manchester and Liverpool are quite large cities. They're quite dominant cities in the United Kingdom. So they've got their own. Well, Manchester's got an airport, at least a major airport, etc., etc. So what I would like to do is just expand these out slightly. So just try to make a bit of space in the terrain around here, and just create a little bit more room for these cities to expand. Because at the moment they're looking quite small. They're well, in fact, they're very small. If you compare Manchester to Oxford as such, Manchester is so much more larger than Oxford. But as you can see, Oxford has developed. So what we'll do is we'll just start expanding out a little bit of these cities, just creating a little bit of space, and then we'll go from there. What I'm going to need to do, as you can see, the terrain around here is pretty dreadful. So a lot of this money that we've earned back is going to be used on flattening out some of this area. Then we'll look on progressing, placing some roads, and hopefully it will develop into something nice. So first things first, I actually need to connect a road through here because, well, long story short, I don't think anybody's going to build in there. Oh, there's bus stops. Who put bus stops there? We just pop it this side. Hopefully that will mean this gap gets filled a little bit. But we should start by flattening out this terrain where we can. We want it to stay somewhat coastal. We're going to put the strength onto the max, but we're going to reduce the brush size down. And we're just going to start by creating a little bit of space. And I'm going to work on terraforming all of this. This is annoying, so it's slightly different to games like City Skylines. You can't right click and hook it up. It's just kind of, you release the mouse and then do it again. It's going to set to whatever height you were most recently using. So we're just going to have to try our best to work on this. Then I will bring you back once we've done our terraforming. I'll show you what we've got. We've worked on flattening the terrain a bit. I'm just going to use this brush to actually erase these trees for now. We'll replace them down. It's just so that I can see the terrain that we're working with. So we'll pick all of these trees up. We'll have a little look to see what kind of terrain we've got, and then we'll go from there. Because we're creating a decent amount of space here, as you can see. And I've got an idea of something that I want to place down in Liverpool, at least, possibly in Manchester as well. But you can see that we've flattened out partially parts of this terrain. We need to obviously smooth it out, otherwise it's going to look a bit weird. So if we just go around like this and just smooth it out so it looks a little bit more natural is probably the word to use. Go through all of the town as well, as a lot of these buildings look a bit distorted due to our messing with the ground. But we've spent quite a lot of money already just by terraforming, but it is worth it in my opinion because we like to make these places look quite nice. Good. Well, that looks roughly pretty decent if you ask me. Terrain wise, it's not too sharp anywhere. It looks all relatively flat. It all guides into each other. I think that is okay. Good. Let's start deciding on what we're going to do with some roads then. So what I thought with Liverpool is just to kind of give it a bit of uniqueness instead of looking like a bog standard city throughout. We might just add a football stadium in. Similar to this one, as you know, there's a Liverpool football team, it's got red seats, that could probably do. So I think we might add this in somewhere, anywhere really, probably around here somewhere. We'll build that and then we'll look to develop the city around it, just to kind of give it a little bit more uniqueness instead of just being boring and plain. So I think what we'll do is we'll look at somewhere around just here really, and just pop it down over there like so. Uh, We'll have to destroy the houses that are currently inside the stadium. They didn't get the memo that we're buying that land. I wonder if we can rename this. We can pretend that it's Anfield. Anfield Football Stadium. And we can just pretend that that's Anfield. I'm not a Liverpool fan, by the way, if you lot are asking. I'm not. Definitely not. So I just wanted to pop that in there, sort this terrain out a little bit, and then we'll look at sorting out a few roads around this to actually make it kind of fit the theme a bit more. We can develop a road here. Nobody's going to tell me that we can't. So we're going to whack that along here. Pull it out a little bit more. We want a road connection to join up. Thinking of whether we can run the road down here and then link it up to here. I think we could do that. Let me try and figure it out. Now, for the time being, that looks okay. We've just essentially put Anfield Stadium just out slightly out from the centre, and then we've developed a few roads around it. It's nothing special, they're just standard roads. We do need to smooth it out a bit, but I think, in my opinion, already that looks so much better than it did before. What we're going to do is just bring the bus line out slightly so it connects up to all this area so that when it does expand, we have essentially enough bus capacity to well, collect all of the passengers. So I'm just going to add a few bus stops along here. I think we've already got a bus stop close to here, but that one will actually pick up essentially all of them anyway, so shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, there's a bus stop there which uses that. Cool. And then we'll find our bus routes. Should be that one, the Liverpool bus line, and then what I'm going to do is, where are our stops then? It's a problem because I've turned off loads of the icons that we can't actually see. What I might do is just think. So King Street, what we really want it to do is, I don't really think we need that King Street stop. So where are we? School Lane. We add a station after School Lane to here. That one goes there. That goes there. Although that is a bit weird, we will just allow it to do that. And then hopefully that'll start picking up everybody else, which will be good. And then that'll start to expand ever so slightly. And now we're just going to pop a few trees in along this section here and along here, just to kind of make it look a little bit more natural. Otherwise it just looks very weird. Okay, so there we have Liverpool looking a little bit nicer, a little bit more spacious. I think it looks pretty good. I'm kind of happy with it. I'm happy with the way it looks. It will undoubtedly begin to expand into building in these areas. We'll set up the port at some point soon, which connects Northern Ireland. We can connect it to Belfast. We can connect it to Ireland, etc., etc. So that is kind of prepared for the future for now. We need to work on what we're going to do with Manchester. Obviously, it's still got some of the natural space here to use. But again, it is a very small area that we have at the moment, so we kind of need to decide on how we want to play it, because it looks like we should probably expand it out this way, but then this hill, it looks pretty nice. I do kind of like this hill with this train track that runs kind of alongside it, so I'm going to have to think about what we're actually going to do here. And I don't know why people are deciding to build here. That's not what I want to see. But hey ho, we'll have a think about what we're going to do with Manchester, and then we'll go from there. So with Manchester, we haven't done a huge amount of expansion because it's a bit annoying with these hills at the moment. But we've extended this train line out, created the 5th rail just to fill in some space. and we've got a tunnel that will run out, which will eventually connect up to the north, which is good. Let's see if we can make that look a little bit cooler. Probably that one will do. Autosave, autosave, come on sunshine! Autosave is finished, and then we've just extended a little bit of road out, just a smidge, just to give us a little bit more space, which is no problem at all. That will just expand in its own time, I'm sure, but we've obviously spent a lot of money. As you can see, we're down to 470 mil, but we just need to fill in a few of these gaps with some trees, because it looks very bare at the moment. Very, very bare. Maybe if we just do some mixture of trees, and then just place this mixture of trees just along the hilltop, just to make it look a little bit more normal, instead of just a medically clean countryside which looks like a mess. So if we just put a few over there, just like that, nothing too crazy, then fill in some of these gaps, and then hopefully once it starts to build out, they'll destroy the trees to build, and it'll just look a little bit nicer. But trees make such a huge difference. I think they look much better with the aesthetics of places, so I love to use them. I love to place them down, as you can probably tell. It's probably not good for the computer though, having to load all of those trees at the same time, but that looks all right. So that's Manchester slightly expanded, which is good. We like to see it. Next up, we need to figure out what we're doing with some of these train lines. So for example, these two tracks here. So what I want to do is use the right hand track and basically do a sharp turn and just have a small little commuter track that connects up Rill and Llangefni. The issue we have is, look at this terrain. What is going on here? This is just unbelievable. Look at the absolute state of it. It is very much tough terrain. I'm not gonna lie, it's very tough. So that's probably going to be a lot of hard work. And then the second line, the kind of central line but the left of one that's not been used, we want it would make sense to go through Shrewsbury and probably connect into Cardiff. That would kind of make sense. There's not really a massive amount of wriggle room, so if we hit Shrewsbury with the train station, it's kind of, we only really have a choice of, unless we build a bigger station at Shrewsbury, have the Liverpool line just run from Shrewsbury to Liverpool, and then we have a few more lines which link up to Cardiff, Swansea and Bristol. Decisions. I feel like that's probably the smarter move. If we just whack a line straight into Shrewsbury here, we might even expand Shrewsbury so we can basically straight line this, and then from there we can shoot 4 lines outwards like so. I think that sounds like a plan if you ask me, sunshine. So I'm just going to start off by bringing this line out and straight, just initially, just to see kind of where we're going to be at with our train track, whereabouts it's kind of going to place it. It might be the case that we've got to curve it ever so slightly, maybe put the train station at an angle, so kind of like this way, and then that will link up straight into there, and then curve it slightly into Bristol, and then the Bristol station can be at a slight angle here, which allows it to connect to Reading. Oh, this is some planning. Okay, let's make some space in Shrewsbury to establish where our train station can be. Okay, welcome to a new Shrewsbury train station. We've gone for kind of the British themed roof here with a bit of red to make it unique. British platforms, of course, and then red around the outsides. We've got 4 rails running up with a large country road going over. Quite the road, this road, a lot of hills, but that goes directly to Birmingham. So we've got 1 train track running underneath it, and then this goes back up and runs underneath here. We've ran 4 railway lines out, but we kind of just connect it back to the 1 or 2 which runs to Liverpool. I don't intend to run loads of trains from Shrewsbury to Liverpool, but we've just added a few tracks just in case. The only thing that is annoying me is the terrain here, but Shrewsbury is not going to be a massive focus city for us. It's just kind of, we're linking it up so that we can move passengers around. But nevertheless, I think the actual train station itself and the way that we've run the track with the bridge is fine. We just need to start by connecting up the rest of these cities. But yeah, as soon as we start branching into this Welsh terrain, it is very, very difficult. What's this, like the Brecon Beacons or something? It's crazy. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to manage that. Shrewsbury is obviously going to expand as soon as we set up the train line. So yeah, we've got a lot to think about for this sort of area. I might just set up a few more roads around Shrewsbury just to kind of get it ready, and then we'll go from there. So the next step that I want to take is put a train station into Bristol. The only kind of way that makes sense to do this will be just to have a double rail. We want it at a slight angle like this so that Reading train station can pull a track out underneath here, connect in, and then we want another rail so that that can connect up to Shrewsbury, like so. So we want it essentially where this road is kind of angled. We want it kind of straight down here. So I might utilize potentially this bit of road here, connect it up, and then put the train station there. Again, we're going to have to do a little bit of terraforming, but it should be all good in the hood. I didn't quite realise how underdeveloped Bristol was until we got here. It's basically got nothing here, which I get kind of makes sense because we've not connected it up to anything. But yeah, it's really underdeveloped, so I'm just going to give it a few roads with a bit of autosave, of course. Why would you not want to autosave right now? Now, we want our Bristol train station on this dodgy looking road just here. So we'll spinaroo you. Just like that. I don't think we need 4 tracks, I'm not going to lie. I think we only really need 2. So we're going to go ahead and plant it here. No, we'll put it here, which will capture a few more buildings. We need to work on the terrain around this because that's not a pretty sight right now. So if we flatten that ever so slightly, and we'll give this train station a little bit of a rejig because it's not looking too good. Maybe we'll just go with we don't need more buildings. I kind of want to use this black roof and just whack it across over the top here, kind of like an old school train station roof. I want to pop that over the top there. That looks different, doesn't it? It's very old and cool. Okay, that looks very bizarre though, doesn't it? Because of the incline of the hill. I don't think we can really smooth that out anymore. We're about as smooth as we can get with that section, but that is not a problem. That doesn't look very good in my opinion, because it's at an angle. Right, delete, restart. What I don't show you on camera is how many times that I delete and restart everything. There is a significant amount that you don't see when I'm playing, because I very much like to try and get it somewhat right. That looks more in line with the road, does it not? That's about as in line as it's going to get, in my opinion. So we'll keep that one and then get our roof back because we need that. We actually need some underpasses, otherwise they're not going to be able to get to and from their stations. Platforms, sorry. So do that, whack this roof back on. Oh! Don't know what happened there. Sent me right out to space. Whack this roof back on. And voila! And then we'll set up a train link that runs from here and connects into Shrewsbury. The terrain in this place is not getting along well with me. Look at this, it's immediately out and then straight into a bridge, slight connection on the hill, straight into more bridges, into a tunnel, and then over more bridges. It's crazy. But we're going to have to try and, well, we don't really have a choice really. That looks quite cool though. Very high up. Not sure about it though. They're all quite high up. That looks alright. I don't know what the speed limit on that's 225 on that bridge. We're not going to really get much higher than 225 to be honest with you. Just wonder if there's one that looks a little less showy. I think we're going to struggle. I think we're actually going to have to essentially settle with what we've got. Which is one of these very, very tall bridges. I mean, at least it will be quite a nice railway journey, I guess, going over this bridge and then going over this viaduct all the way over here, slipping away through this small little tunnel and then connecting across here with a view of the water at Bristol. I mean, it could look alright in the end, but it's just... It looks bizarre, doesn't it? It's quite bizarre. We also need to link this railway line into Cardiff. But what we're going to do is we're going to need to establish a train station for Cardiff as well. Yes, there's a lot to do with this sort of railway section, connecting it. And we need to think about how we're going to manage it. Cardiff is going to be a problem. Cardiff is going to be a problem. These hills are rather problematic, to say the least. So what I'm going to try and do is just pop a train station down here and see what happens, because it might not want to play ball. Well, I say it might not. I can almost guarantee that this is not going to work out how it should be, judging by the terrain. As you can see, this is actually incredibly not ideal. Even if we try our best to smooth this out, this is going to be a slight problem, because the hills are just absolute madness. Absolute madness. So we need to try and figure out how we're going to link this line up here with this station track here. So if we just initially run that to here, run it alongside it, because the problem is this is such a turn, it's quite a significant turn, and we don't really want it to be another bridge, I'm not going to lie. I think the bridges look a little bit silly. But we might just have to do it. Let's see what that looks like connecting up here. Because this line here needs to connect to this there. Because this big wonky line connects to Bristol, and then this line next to it will essentially connect up to Shrewsbury, hopefully, fingers crossed. But we just need to think about the route that it's going to take. So that curves in here, is that going to give us another ginormous bridge, which doesn't look very good? The answer is yes. I mean, it's very unique, I'll give you that, it's very unique, but is it what I want in my train lines? Probably not, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really think I want that. It certainly does the job, and by no means is this railway line going to be high-speed railway line. Because of the terrain, we're going to struggle significantly, but I'm just not sure if I like the look of it. We'll work with it for now and see what we can do to see if there's anything that we can do to make it look just a little bit nicer, because at the moment it's not my favourite thing ever. I'll be honest, it's not my favourite thing ever. Even if we bring this up. I mean, it's very unique. I like the uniqueness of the track. It's just not as realistic as you'd like it to be. I think if we had one bridge and then this one was somewhat flat. Let's try and make it flat. So I've tried to make it a little bit more natural now. So these trees are making a significant difference to the train lines. I'm just trimming a few back so that they're not actually interfering with the train line itself. But now that we've managed to do quite a bit of terraforming up on this section, which does in fact make it look a lot nicer, but I'm just going to trim these trees back a bit and then we'll kind of show you how we've managed to deal with this section. So a little bit of trees here and there, a little bit of that, and then cool. Right, so they still leave on this bridge. The line to Bristol takes this viaduct which travels across into this little tunnel here, which will open up a bit because we're blocking slightly, into this little tunnel, comes out of the tunnel on this another viaduct, which you can get a good view of the city and the shoreline, and it goes right into Bristol train station. The line from Bristol to Cardiff goes in over the viaduct in the small tunnel, quite a sharp turn within the tunnel, and then it comes out here, basically follow it round, and it connects up to this cool looking bridge and then drops itself into Cardiff train station. So yeah, I think it looks a lot better than it was. I think it looks alright now, and I'm happy with that. What we're going to do, we've managed to establish, obviously we've developed Liverpool and Manchester slightly. We've established a line between Liverpool, Shrewsbury, and then Bristol to Shrewsbury, Cardiff to Shrewsbury, and Bristol, Cardiff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day on this episode, and in the next episode we are going to work on finishing off these train connections and actually setting up the line, so buying the trains, getting them all set up, and then hopefully we will have a better train line set up. So yes, lots of work to do, but progress has been made. I'm happy with it. I hope you're happy with it too. There's a considerable amount of traffic coming over this bridge. Shrewsbury is getting very, very busy, which is why we need to set up these train lines. But nevertheless, I think what we've done so far is pretty cool. I am happy with it, and I hope you're happy too. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.